Okay, so for the first one, which was the opposite side? Yes. What was the adjacent side? Okay, and so this is the hypotenuse. So just asking you to do the ratio of the side length adjacent to the angle to the over the hypotenuse. So the adjacent is 300. The opposite is 500. Plug that into a calculator, and what do I get? 0.6, right? Okay, the next one, the second triangle. Paul, what'd you get? I'm sorry? Okay, what's the opposite side for that one? I'm sorry? 371. What's the adjacent side? And what's the hypotenuse? Okay, so again, we want the adjacent over the hypotenuse. We plug in our calculator. Six, seven. Okay, last one. Jaden. Okay, what was your fraction? Oh, sorry. 250, right? Over. And it's 0.5. Very good. Okay, and then what happens to this ratio as the angles get larger? You guys write down what you notice as the angles get larger. What happens to your ratio? Does the ratio increase as the angles get smaller?
No, they went up and then they went back down.
Well, which one's the smallest angle?
5, 3.
The smallest ratio is 0.5. What's the smallest angle?
48.
48. And what is the ratio? Okay, very good. As the angle gets smaller, the ratio increases. We did this same thing with sine, when we did sine, and it was different. It was as the angle got bigger, the ratio got bigger. Okay, so cosine ratio. This is important. So we've already learned tangent. We've already learned sine. Now we're learning cosine. Cosine is adjacent over the hypotenuse. Okay, does anyone remember what tangent was? Yep. Opposite or adjacent. Very good. Okay, does anyone remember what sine was? Yep. That was tangent. Opposite over hypotenuse. Okay. So there's a mnemonic device that we use to help us remember all of our trig ratios because you have to memorize them. Okay. It is SOHCAHTOA. So, let's see. It won't let me write now. Yes. SOHCAHTOA. Okay, SOHCAHTOA. So the first one is so, which is sine. And it's opposite over hypotenuse. That's what the O and the H. Opposite over hypotenuse. Okay, and you can maybe put a little slash there to help you remember that it's a fraction opposite over hypotenuse. Then you have, let's do it like this. And hypotenuse. Okay, the ka is the cosine. And cosine is adjacent over hypotenuse. Noah is tangent. Opposite over adjacent. Okay, if you can remember SOHCAHTOA, then that can give you a reminder when you're doing any quiz or test, just to double check your ratios. What over what? It will also help you identify which trig function you're going to use when you're solving for a side of a right triangle. Okay, complete the ratio to represent the cosine of A. So in this triangle, I'm going to circle A. Everyone labels opposite, adjacent, and hypotenuse for me. Okay, Ryan, Ryan L, what is the, what is it called? The opposite, or the adjacent side? B to C. Is adjacent? AC is adjacent because it touches the angle. BC would be the opposite side. So AC is my adjacent side. Ryan O, what is the hypotenuse then? AB. It is the hypotenuse, the side opposite the right angle. Any questions over that? We're all good? Okay, so we're gonna do this next problem. Same idea, we're just gonna find, now we know what the name of it is, we're gonna find the ratio of the cosine. Okay, this time they ask you to, for each triangle in the getting started, you calculated the cosine value of the angle made by the guide wire and the ground. Now calculate the cosine value of the other acute angle. So we're going to use this angle here. Okay, so now label opposite, adjacent, and hypotenuse for that angle and give me my ratio. Hey, Kayla, what'd you get for that first one?
I got 0.8. That's the
Yep, 0.8, perfect. Rachel, what'd you get for the second one? 0.75? Nick C, what'd you get for the third one? 0.86. Okay, do you agree with all those? No, the middle one's wrong? What should that one be? 7.4?
Yeah.
0.74.
yeah.
Okay. Shh. Okay, so now we're gonna go to the next page, and it asks us, what do the cosine values of the angles in question 3 all have in common? So answer 4 and 5 for me. Answer 4 and 5 for me. Hey, Sam, what did you notice? The hypotenuse are the same? Yes. Okay, but we're asking about the values. Their values, not their necessarily ratios, but the decimals.
Oh.
The answers. Yep. They're all less than 1.
They're all around 8. Around.
0.8.
Yeah. It has to be around the same because it's a little
The hypotenuse is the same in all of them.
right.
Okay. Shh. Okay, is the cosine value for every acute angle going to be less than 1? Why? Okay. You think because it's an acute angle, that's why it's going to be less than 1? Yep. Very good. It's because the hypotenuse is always in the denominator, right? The hypotenuse is always in the denominator. So, and the hypotenuse is the longest side. So you have the longest side always on the bottom. So you're always going to have an answer that's less than 1. Okay? So let's write that down. Okay, we need to write it down. Okay, it's because of the hypotenuse is in the denominator. So it's always going to be less than 1. Okay. Okay, number 9 is very important. This is going to be what your homework's going to look like, a lot of. So put a star by number 9 or highlight it or however you make sure you know when it's easy to look at when you go to look at your notes. Okay, I want everyone to draw the picture. What is that going to look like?